Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye, and we're gonna do the weekly live report, and we're gonna see exactly what's going on. So basically, everything has been in a type of recovery that you just can't even do, and like what we say, we just can't understand. It's like all of a sudden, all of America went highly profound overnight. Completely profound overnight, which means we're highly intelligent, but we just can't do it, and we can't get it done. So, as a retrospect comes in, you can't see it coming in. So, when we actually go through it and we actually do it, we can't even do a done. So, in reality, we can do a lot. A lot. Now, when we see this and we can't do it, we can't boo it at all. So there's no ghosting around. And to the GTU, to the GTL, to the GLE, to the GLO, that everything is infiltrated. And, we're popping right out. So then I have to ask about T and Rebar. And then I have to ask about Hostler and Teamsters. And then I have to ask about everything down to the middleman. So let's actually look at the cards and the tarot and the runes and the oracle and see exactly what's going on. But feel free to go ahead and leave a like, a comment, a share, a question, and I will catch up with it. Even on the replay, I will ask everything to be done correctly. I don't know where that came from in mediumship. But basically, what you need to know is this. Here it is. The Knight of Cups. There's something of this like emotional offer that we keep talking about through the readings that I keep getting through, even in the deep dives and the look-ins, that when you see it, you can't understand what is this emotional offer? What is this breaking up of a partnership? What is this breaking up of anything? Like when you look at marriages and you look at business partnerships and bonding and ties and tethers, what is the big breakup? I don't even know anymore. But really, when you see the Queen of Cups, it's something of this like download, like I got it. I got it. It's this type of source that came in. You gotta excuse me. I have been literally like almost up to acid reflux on how it's just coming in truly. But when I see this, the high priestess, it's something of a conjure. It's something of a hidden motive. It's something of a psychic connection. It's something that you just couldn't even understand whatsoever. So when I see the Page of Pentacles in reverse, you go, it wasn't young offer on the table. It really was a pull away of a takeaway to give it all done. But really, it was the Tower in reverse, absolute chaos. Like I see papers being thrown and saying, I give up, I give up, I give up. You can't do it. The King of Cups in reverse says there's no attunement, there's no alignment, there's no go for it, there's no DONE. It's continuance on to the point of contingency. So when you see the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, where was this like unsecuring of inheritance of like land and property and anything that is part of culture, as part of inheritance, that is lost. And that is where the anger comes in. That is where this Hierophant is saying, like, there's a point of a dictatorship, even to approaching. When I was out in the field as an LPN, as a visiting nurse, of like a degree of a warrant and a subpoena of just coming into the house. But really, the Eight of Cups comes in and says, it really is on the table and you could go for it, but you got to take it down. What? The Christmas lights. It's hillbilly. It's Hicksville. No, I need to see it because the lighting is pure. What did you say? And that is how we knew. We knew as society, as Americans, as anywhere else in the globe, if they could put words in your mouth and you usually are clear sound mind, the Two of Swords meant it was a type of crossroads to go for it, that you can't even see this. Now, this card is the Phoenix. This is like a rebirth. This is a rego. This is a retry, a TRI. The Three of Pentacles, it's an apprenticeship. It's a teamwork. It's a skill. It's something that comes in that is so known and unbeknownst, but it's there. It's happened before. That's a Hangman in reverse. It causes a halt, stop, pause to everything because we weren't ready. That's all you need to know. So when you see this, the Wheel of Fortune, there's no end to it, to the point there it actually is like a wheel spinning, like I said, like a spoke wheel. Now, as I'm repeating myself from multiple psychic readings, this is where the disappointment and loss is. So why are we reiterating ourselves? Let's look more. Why do we have to keep repeating ourselves? Well, as a nurse, if I had to keep repeating myself as a clinician, I literally see that there's just something not right, that I have to actually reassess cognition on everything. Now, with that being said, the Knight of Wands comes in, and it is a fiery, like, jump in, like, charge through, because Wands is fire energy. And it wasn't even funny to the point of a degree. That the judgment in here goes, there was no judgment. There was no judgment. So when you actually see the Seven of Cups in reverse, there's no grandiose thoughts in the collective. It's pretty point blank in your face. But the Strength card comes in and says, this is really strong that actually is coming through society, because look who appeared. Who came out to make an appearance today? Clinton, Soros, who else? All these people who we said, the Lovers. Where is this business venture coming from? You can't even make it out. The Star. It was wishes fulfilled today. Absolute. The Celestial Weaver in reverse means you can't even go near this whatsoever. This, like, newborn, like, connected to the galaxy, everything. And I'm not poking fun, because I truly do believe that when you sit alone and you are meditating and you are someone who is spiritual, you are connected to everyone somehow. You are connected to the universe and to the planets, to the stars. But this type of celestial weaver came in, and it was awful. That's what I'm saying as a psychic. In observancy. Observancy was key for me in society. Now, is that psychic, or is it just something that you picked up on? Now, the King of Swords goes, we're not being nitpicky, but you have to watch them alone, the psychics. Watch them when they're alone. Listen through. Watch their body language. The King of Swords in reverse, it's ill contracts. It's ill military. It's ill law enforcement. It's illegal. Ill, I-L-L, which means something ran through and made them rancid. So is that always the case? It's not always the case. And I'm not trying to poke fun or be derogatory to law enforcement or military. But really, the Queen of Wands goes, this is a sitting stoic and a sitting pretty to sitting nobly of knowing what is going on. Because for the Four of Pentacles, there is a securement and the security of holding on to something. And I really see a lot of more financials, but I'm seeing heritage and culture of what is true. This Death card actually means it came from a death of something, of someone, of an animal, of anything. This is where this heartbreak actually comes through. Like, I really want to start crying right now. So when I really sit like this, and let me just take a minute here. The Six of Wands comes in. It comes in as a victory, and it's spelled different. An R-I-E with a Y. It's really odd. Odd. A 3-9. I don't know why I hear 3-9. But the Five of Wands goes, you can't even understand why. And I keep wanting to do this. Allergies. It's not. Five of Wands. And I hear put a fork on it. I am done with this. You can't understand how rude it is to be like this. You can't let me in. No, not without a warrant or a subpoena. All forms. So when you go at that, you go the King of Pentacles in reverse. Greed. On the basis of greed. To all forms of the spelling. That's what I'm hearing as a psychic. So when you see the Queen of Swords, you say, was there a cutaway of no logic? Because I'm seeing this a lot. Still, I'm seeing this tapping for sound. A lot. King of Wands. They literally have a lot of honor. A lot of honor. So when you start saying all forms of the meaning, of the spelling, of the way of the grammar is, and that it counts, you have to say it's highly criminal. The Seven of Wands is really going to come in as a type of like juxtapose. Nine of Cups. It brings in a little bit of happiness. It's a contentment order. Page of Cups in reverse. Boyish, young, offer. Not really. Not really. Energy is masculine. It's young, but it's not foretold. The Five of Pentacles in reverse says, no, you cannot pour forward. But you can forward. I don't know what that means. But you can see it through and through. You can literally see it through and through. There's like a block on this Five of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, Lord. There's happiness, though. There's happiness. Not really. Not really. Not how everything in the news is playing out. Let's dig a little more. Let's dig a little more. What really wants to come out? Because we're still seeing it. I said between December 12th through like January 9th, the 19th, the 12th, it's just right there. It's just right there, but you can't even go out. Why? It's not there. But we ran everything. You sure? You're not supposed to be running. But here it is. The Ten of Wands has a type of difficulty that you can't understand. That the Page of Swords is going to come in hastily, without logic, without thinking, to the uppercut, but really the undercut of the foot. The Three of Wands is no foresight on the horizon. It literally went up and put it out there and caught when it went back down. Justice as it pertains to something that you can't see. The Six of Swords goes, you can't even make it up. You can't even make it up whatsoever. No lamenting, no crying, no sorrow, apathy. Let's talk about that, how there was apathy about the recent school shootings. Ace of Cups. I already knew. How dare you already know? How do you already know? And you didn't tell us. Am I in trouble for that? I don't know. But the Four of Cups is literally going to say there's going to be a lot of questions on that. If you are already a psychic, You should be saying it out loud, loud and clear, loud and clear. That's all you need to know. That's my education for the public for today. But when I see this and I see the Emperor in reverse, there is a type of, you want to say, like a type of high dishonor that wants to come in or is trolling in. But you have to say, are they really like a button lips in society? Are they really having a hard time communicating? Are they, I mean, have we looked through and through? Because all of a sudden, everyone's like, I just don't know what to do at the scene, and everyone's questioning. But when you see the Four of Wands in reverse, in simplicity, the Four of Wands is a celebration. There's no celebration whatsoever. There's no getting together, but there's no beginning. This is like a full pullback of a lack of something, a lack. So let's actually look at another deck and see exactly what's going on. Starseed Oracle. Now I do see a knock on the door, and I do see a proper knock on the door. And I do see a question. I do see a couple papers, but I do see it high and low. This is something, it keeps coming up. It says the void, stop, embrace the winter, great cosmic wound, emptiness. There's something about some of us need to be alone. We need to be alone. Now, when we see this and we hear called, soul gifts, training, it's time to step up. It means that there's something that needs to be watched. After what has happened with New Orleans, I have to say that there was a full retract back. But this is something that has been done before, of a sit and watch and wait. Because it's not a 3, but I see a number 19. A number 19, significant. Now, let's look at this. Seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. There's something that's like in dreams, that's in the back of the head, feeling, that saying that we get. That you see that it's multifaceted, unique nature, and to let yourself be seen. Yes and no. I don't hear like a COVID lockdown, but I do hear a COVID lockdown. I do hear something of it, of a hunker down, because I keep saying that you got to hunker down for the winter. What does this really mean? How are you going to hunker down, lock it down, and still let yourself be seen? Isolation, physical connection, community. What is actually happening? Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. There's something of a type of communication about and through all forms of communication that was communicated, that I can see as a psychic, that was well communicated, that it's already known what is going to do. Now, energetic sovereignty, observing what is not yours. That is what I call the energy sickness. Like you've been around somebody and you're drained, and then you actually really do get sick. Those are the energy vampires. Those are the people that you don't understand. Like, well, I just went and I sat next to them, and then I had the GI bug. Okay, that's all I need to know. But when you see this in its devotion, its potency, it's making your life a moving prayer. A prayer is truly a silent call of war. So when you see Orion energy, and we just had Orion in December, polarity, soul growth, conflict, and then I see a let out and I hear Teamsters, I said, I already know. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. The common ground, when you actually like look and you scry out as a psychic, and if some know how to do a remote view, and you look out and you say the expansion is none, without the E, and then the EI to the EAR, the ear infections. So when I see Hadarian energy, codependency, boundaries, it literally is. You already know how to do universal precautions. If you're sick, stay home. If you're ill, stay away, stay home and recover. Ill means you have been thrown criminal activity. Even though you're not a criminal, you look like a criminal, and then you need to sit and rest before you get in trouble. Sour means somebody went in on you, and no matter what they do for you, you're nasty. So when you see this deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical healing, emotional healing, believe it or not, frequency and hertz, when you listen through and through, all in all, you can't even understand how it can get it out. So, homesick for the stars, let's talk about that. Now, some of us have been heard, and the light worker, the star seed, is serving the world around you. But there's something about double mission that also keeps coming up. That it's really apparent. All right. Numerology, cardomancy, poker cards, gaining, gathering, remote viewing, all of the clairs. So as one comes out, oh my God, double tens. So that means completed out juxtaposed to jurisdiction. That means if you see this, it's a 3 at best. 3 at best. It doesn't matter what we do or what we don't do. It's about literally listening. After Daniel Penny, after the fire in the subway, after multiple things happen at once, to United Healthcare, to now this terrorist-like attack, there's no movement on regular arrests because we still haven't gotten out of Sean Combs. That's all you need to know. Confirm the cutout to the wait out, WATE, goes, you can't even recover well from Lake and Riley because then it trolled right over to Texas. And then you see 14 deceased. 9 of diamonds. What is lurking about? That is where it is. So when I see the 9 of diamonds, I actually see the article come through. And I can't even make this up on this connection that I'm seeing as a psychic about the Bidens having a $20,000 diamond. The 8 of diamonds goes, when you put it on the table, you put it into play like a poker game. It actually is almost like a Michigan rummy. Go for it. So when I actually see it, the 3 of spades, you can't even do a done. You can't even do a done. So when you see it and you see the 3 of spades, it is an apprentice. It is something that you can't even do or even say, but you can't even keep it at bay. Keep it at bay. The king of diamonds is going to put it through and put it through hard that you can't even see it. Go ahead, Space Cowboy. Whenever you are ready. When you see this, you can't even do it. Can't even do it. It goes through this. Jack of Hearts. You can't even be it. A BEA. So as I'm looking through the collective and the current events, a BEA, and then we had all these news events come through that you couldn't even. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead and ask another question. Space Cowboy has a question, and then Pray Release has it. All right. I will not answer that question, Space Cowboy. It's inappropriate. So when we say that at all, you can't even do a done. That means it is almost a do or a done that you can't even be a done. So when you go at this and you say, go and actually, I see something round, I see something like almost like a broken ankle. It's malleable. I believe I asked that question. You asked that question last week, and it was yes, it was. So when I see this, I don't know what to say. Sorry, I'm speaking Gaelic. I hear that you and Mo are taking a break. You will hear from them again, but it's a free will choice that I hear. And it's not something that both of you want to talk about. There's a lot of like negative energy. I would sit and wait if you two really want to work on it. There's a lot of negative energy around you right now. Now, the Four of Spades says it is a cutout in the collective, literally like cutting out and cutting away of where nobody could understand. That you can't even see it done. The four goes the luck of the Irish to the man to the DUN, can't even do it done. You can't even do it done. The five of diamonds goes, no, it is a show, it is a cut. There is jewelers in the area, but the bread is none of a done. Now culture comes in, and I see staff come in to the strip, to the chain, to the link, to the exhaust, to the catalytic converter. And that is how quick, when you actually blend it all through, that the Three of Hearts says, don't even make a move until you see it, you hear it, but don't feel it. Sometimes you just got to do. And sometimes a lot of these questions, especially when it comes to romance and to relationships, you might want to be a little counterintuitive. That is my best advice. Do not hold me to it. So when I do that, I go, I understand it is a go through to a be through. So when I look through it and I go, you can't be it at all. The Two of Spades literally means it's a hold put, a hold put. Don't do anything at all until you see it and you hear it. It's something that you can't feel coming. You must use your logic completely with your relationships. Now, the Queen of Spades is going to say, hold it straight. Hold it straight. Now, with that being said, you have to go through, and you must do through with the Jack of Spades. But go ahead and feel free to continue asking questions throughout. Where are we trying to cut away through completely? The Ace of Diamonds. Where is the jackpot? Where is the jackpot? Now, when I see this aviator, there is no planes or trains, but when I have to say there's no steel in all forms of the spelling keeps coming through, is it synchronicities? It has to be. It literally has to be. All right, gold tarot. Gold tarot. What else? What else? I believe you asked that last week, Space Cowboy. I hear it's still on the table. She's still watching you. All right. So when I see this, I see a severe ending, and I just can't even understand that you can't even do I hear a road, a dirt road. I hear a DUN to a DUNE a Lu to a Lua Ray to a Tua Bay to a Tua Say to a GEA. Now, the ending actually came in for a lot of people from untimely passing away. And when this actually huge change of a flip of a switch came in, it came in as almost, see this Empress in reverse, of nasty, like female energy, that everyone was going in on it and that everyone had honor. But in reality, there were some hidden motives that actually came through. So when I see this card, the Four of Swords in reverse, it was a type of unrest that is. So when I see this Ace of Wands, there is no beginning per se, but the Knight of Wands goes, it is a retract back of an ocean to a do it done. So when I see Temperance in reverse, you can't even see it, the imbalance. I'm watching the gate, the GAIT to the GATE, to where there is a lack of securement everywhere. There is a finality, a sharp ending. But when I see the Knight of Pentacles, it says it came in through to the collective, through politics on a per north, on a no neth way. What would that say? So when you actually look at this, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, it is actually a type of like unsecurement that has to do with women at times, where they're just no. So I wouldn't worry about if certain things leave, even in politics, even in law enforcement, and anything of that. There's this type of weakness that actually comes in that should know. But in reality, when you see this, there is a sitting solid alone that must do. That's the Emperor. Just sit and be quiet and watch. Don't worry about anything. Anything. This coming together of a partnership, of a marriage, of a celebration, of a good everything is so solid by after sitting alone with nothing upon, nothing within, no relationships, just you yourself, even if you have children and you're a single parent, that you have to say it almost was being like counterintuitive, the best thing, because it almost looks delusional. So, all right, seashells. May I ask where William Jr. go today? I'm asking. I just hear it that I hear it. It's a little bit blocked for safety. Like the energy is blocking it. It's something that they are asking, like, William is like, his energy is actually like, please don't ask me and don't dig about it, but it's safety. I'm going somewhere for safety. And I don't see high safety. I hear someone like he needs to go and rest somewhere. So when I actually look at this, when it actually truly pertains properly to that question, he just needs to be like alone. He needs like clearing out. He needs to get clear. So when I actually look at it, and I'm not trying to be nasty, it's like almost I can feel that energy. That's how he's feeling. Like, I'm just showing you how he feels. Like, no, I don't want to do this. Nope, not doing it at all. Bye. And then he leaves. So he's very firm of like, be a bay. Just be a bay and go away. Now I see a 2 to a 24 to a 36. to where you say, no. This Nine of Pentacles is like a type of securement where you say, this was prudent. This was very prudent. And this is happening everywhere. Yep. So my experience, not only as a psychic, and I can speak as an LPN, that when they actually do that as a visiting nurse former, when they start doing that, there's something else around them. When they stop talking and they start being firm and they don't want to be there and they go and stay at someone else's house for like a few days, that's when I start saying there's a type of clearing that needs to go on mentally, emotionally, and physically. So with that, I said, you already know what to do. So when I actually, I don't see female, I see masculine energy around him. It's almost like a type of work. Like I said, it's happening everywhere, every workplace, like a lot of homes, at least around here where I live too. There's a lot of button lips. So when I see this, the Ten of Wands, which is a type of difficulty, there is a bit of an alleviation of difficulty that comes in for them, but it's a little bit of chaos. Yeah. And that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. There's no alignment or attunement. And that's all I'm going to say, because the rest goes into like HIPAA. I don't want to get a HIPAA violation. So wish fulfillments. There will be wish fulfillments. Positive. All right. Happiness, sitting pretty. There is a type of sitting pretty that we're trying to like link all of this tonight with the personal questions that come in. And then when you actually sit and take a step back and then you listen and you're like, where else is this happening? I can't be the only one who's happening to. But when you're sitting there and you're happy sitting alone and you're quiet and you're just doing your own thing, where's this alleviation from the loss coming through? Because I see stone-faced apathy with a lot of people. Now let's bring it down to actually what happened in New Orleans. And it's not to scare anyone, and it's not fear-mongering. It's not anything. All right. Judgment is lax. And I hear all forms. And here we go. What is this about everyone, even those in the chat right now, asking questions about the loss of money, no matter how good we are as employees, to where there's a type of judgment. And then you have the issue with health care. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. You can't even see the transition coming. It just sits there and they pop right off. Now, when you actually look at it and you go, this is a window of lax and lair and leer and pair and do a dare of a mare to the Hilton. And then you see the hotel jump. And then I actually see itching. I see the pneumonia. I see the everything going on. That the Wheel of Fortune truly is no luck involved. It's a little Larry. I just talked about like Irish leprechaun, Larry. Let's talk about Larry. What is Larry? Larry is a lack of emotions on a table that is almost like a ring around the rosy, a pocket full of posies that causes heartache. And those who have been around two rounds of this, the Page of Swords says You can't see it enough coming. You have to literally be your own warrior and stand up on your property all of a sudden with no knock on the door to a knock on the door and say, you're done. You're evicted. Where's your papers? There it is. Everyone is hyper vigilant after the illegal immigrants coming. It literally came right to my door. And it went to, how about you knock next time you cut me off? So when I actually see it come through, where do we secure everything? Let's ask another set of cards, because when I see this, the Five of Pentacles, you can't even do it at all. I see hopping. Hopping. He's just da 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 da, or she da 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 da, like in between the lines. Hopping, looking. They caught it. Okay. So as I'm looking, even more news comes in. Even more news. Okay. So this is called the Literary Witches Oracle. And this oracle is about female authors who cut with her words. Let's see, what do we got? What do we got? Here we go. Here we go. Eruption to abortion, all forms of the meaning. Yep, that was hard, quick. Power, it is quick. It's like the energy of what else comes in nasty, nasty, nasty. It's something that was like on the books. I see green, but I see something gold and black. I see it's so old, like in mediumship. A gentleman is showing me like 1912. And I don't know why, like today I was saying, like, I'm hearing like the Titanic, like it almost is a dream-like state, like a fantasy, trickery, healing, and knife. And when I see knife come out, you want to say as intuitive, it is a cutaway, but it's a go through away. When you see the cauldron, you want to say it cooks, it stirs to the witch hunt, but really it's a containment order. When you see this, you have to pace yourself when you start seeing it in the public and in your daily life. You just got to go with the flow. Belonging. Belonging is, when these events occur, where do you belong? Belong is actually where you're led. And I see somebody actually write like checks out in pencil. The spider is dusting it off. It's old. It's an NUN. The tree is TRE to TRI to a BRE to the brie of a cheese to Ireland to Belfast to Titanic to steel to the Astors to all the way down to the Wheel of Luck in 1979. That's in mediumship. That was like whoever did that, and there's a male who like threw a bunch of energy. That's how, Jesus, I can't even speak straight. But this is a type of like holding on to a type of baby that you can't understand. What would be a baby for America for everyone, even law enforcement, making a significant arrest where it puts us at rest and propels us a little bit more forward. Because you would say that it would actually be maybe the Francis Scott Key Bridge, or it would be the strike. It would be all these events. And then we have Sean Combs, who's just like, not until justice is served. And you literally hear crickets. Perspective. Perspective is the eye of the beholder to hold on to none. And I see a soup ladle. But when I see this and I see apple, it is a type of schooling. It is a type of health with a bite. And then here, this is usually my card where it's blocked. It's meant to be a little bit more of a mystery, a little bit longer. I don't like that. Now let's see. Continuing education, bravery. I don't even want to go there. Glove, hot off the pot of the press. Lantern, go, deet, debt, D-E-T, and detriment, B. Freedom goes no, north, Perth, south, be in. Hard to explain, but people have seen this in visions and holding on to a vision, even for their own life. And they're like, no, I'm 100% sure this is where I need to be, but this is what's going on without me. And it's put me at such a stay put order. I just don't understand. What is this about the dark? It is a type of like wit of a child's play, to where I hear dolphin play, to the main attraction, to the hedgehog of a flow, a hurry about on the ground. Solitude. Literally. It's happened before where people have to be listened to and spoken to alone. Okay. Let's go to the Akashic Tarot. And then let's go to the Pleiadian Oracle. My focus is on that, but I'm being drawn to France. The mediumship. Still focused on America, but I see France. Now I see no initiation come through, and this is the initiation in the Count of Saint Germain. This card alludes, and it also speaks to a type of counting in that is a type of initiation that is done wrong. But also when you see the King of Roses in reverse, you have to say nothing was planted and nothing was wrong, a W-R-O-N, to a wrought iron, of a rust to a dismay. But the chess game is a play, run, W-R-U-N, to a wrong, R, like the spelling is wrong in the document. There's no continuance on whatsoever. But the paths unknown is like off the beaten path to unfulfilled wishes. Now, when I see the waterfall, you have to say the flow through of the cantankerous review came in. The Oracle of Delphi says, no prophecy heard. This is not written. It's fated. It dropped down from everything. And like I said, this is universal correcture, connecture to be it done. Will, wisdom, and mind. Will, wisdom, and mind. To be it done. There's no lookout. There's no wisdom. There's no will. There's no wit. There's containment. There's sitting, like the COVID lockdown, what has been done already, they have been, like I have said, on a house arrest since Sean Combs got arrested. Like I have said before, when a criminal like that gets arrested, those who work with them get a home arrest too, because they're waiting. You just don't know who they are, especially with racketeering. Then you have a lot of other things come through. Now, there's no looking about over these people, but the intricacies and the intricacies of the industry is upsy-tursy. There's no forces. There's no done. I actually see a last name. I want to study this card a little bit more. This Queen of Forces comes in, and you can see she's trying to balance night and day to all the energies. But when I actually see it in reverse, it's like showing me someone who's holding frequency and it drops. The Two of Worlds is no meeting. Like, it doesn't matter what is in the constellations or the planetary energies that even NASA can measure. That's so derogatory to the to the criminal or whatever is going on. That the ascent means you can actually go about and actually set. The winged messengers says it's not angelic review, but the garden, it's there. Like, I see it laid out. I'm seeing it laid out. Caught in the ruins, there is a type of rebuilding. And how is France like America right now? The Muse, there was no funny about it, what came through. That's what I'm hearing in clairaudience. All right, let's look at the Pleiadian Oracle, and then we'll look at the runes. Okay. What is there to do? What is there to do? Now, when I see it, I see there's like this creativity in order to get anything done. Anything in your personal life to your work life. And it's like that when they sit there and they say, everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. But the passion comes through. And when I see sound codex, CODECS, that you can't even see it through. It literally means like it sat there and watched it on high. And then literally ingested it. Enlightened gut. I see like IBS symptoms. They have done this before in history, into medical histories, to criminal history, all forms of history. Because when they see it, it's cosmic unity. Star centers. They heard it, they felt it, they saw it. It was true, and it came to them in a dream. The fifth dimensional Agnes. It cracked them right open. Cracked them white open. White. Isle of Wight. So when we go through this and we sit here, we actually see the sheep on the Isle of Wight. When I sit there and I remember a little bit of how my family history is, and I go and I sit and I see the snail, and then I see the snail, and then I see the dirt, and then I see the worm, and I literally look right at it, and I tell my family, just go get the constable because it's already right there. If I already saw 3, I already know what it was to do. What it was to do. but really I speak Cockney. But the sacred geometrics, it's this odd thing like American Gangster, where they did a spread, that scene with the women and the men, and they walk into the warehouse. That's a spread in a precinct. They used to do those things in the 60s and 70s, and they would have like visions, like a type of vision that is so unbeknownst that you can't even believe it. That lightning boy comes in. When you see it, they're quick. These kids or these young individuals who the runners are. Because when I see Ashtar, I actually see it go about in a hard highway. In a hard highway. Mothership. Where would mothership be? Where would this be? Opening doors, expansion, and everything. You can't even be this. Like the new expansion pack came in, and then Fortnite comes in. And then you see, when you see a rope, you actually see a rope. You see the Navy, you see chain link, you see everything. You're like, you can't even make this up. Then you see quantum regeneration. Then you see this dolphin play. Go for it right now. And when you actually look for it and you hear imagination, no, it's just all in my imagination. You can't even take in chances. Do it. Take that leap of faith. Whatever you saw, you heard, you felt, you're going to know it. It's just your autopilot. You're either going to go and speak with police or healthcare professionals all of a sudden, or you're talking with your neighbors. Like I heard it, I felt it, I saw it. I can't even believe I encountered this. It's like everyone's on the same wavelength. Transmission? No, they're on the CB radios. But all of it, it's everything, every forms of communication that is coming through, that you can understand what's truly happening around the world right now. Why would Elton John be like up in arms about marijuana? And I'm not being derogatory, because I do believe in this, medical healing with marijuana, with a medical card, everything. But what is he talking about? Let's look at that. We'll look at a couple more cards, and then we're going to go to the runes. It's a pinpoint dot to a lay. That's all I want to say about that. That one made me go push right back as a psychic. All right, runes. Birth, birch, bacana. So when I see this and I see the tree and I see birch and I see birth and I see bacana, and I go, you can't even do it. Can't even do it. You can't even see it. Can't even see it. It's living. Nadis. Nadis means warrior at night. It's gifted. Highly gifted. Wealthy. Wealth. All forms of wealth. Havoc. Haggle. Righto. Energy. Flows through. Rides through. Does all of it. Instinct. Intuition. Parth. Hidden. Pair. Hidden game. This is literally Hebo. It's still like, when you see gift, I see sword with this one, Hebo. Wound Ho, joy. Like it literally gives like a gift, a gun, transfer of firearms. So when you actually look at this and you say trolling, and we said this is a year of like trolling, all forms of the meaning, that it's like an ulcer that comes on a back sty, a sty of an eye, to canoe. This is spelled with a K, that you can't even say. And then all the way down to the Navy, you say, torch it, torch it, torch it. So when you actually look at it and you say strength, it comes in like a wheel, WEIL. And you see this, you see Hera, which is like harvest collection, to actually the way this design of this rune is, where you're cornered. To this, I hear a was, manas, a nas, enas, which is old Viking pagan to Wiccan, where don't go a bay and be a bay. You do have to sting, but watch out for the devil's advocate. So when you actually look at this and you go defense, high, road, to ice, it means freeze. And then you hear Eurus, power, go for it, north. And you hear Fehu, Mehu, ash, torch. And then you go warrior, stand strong. And you can't even do, you just can't even do it. Day God literally means how hard are you actually going to see it, hear it, and feel it during your day, where you say, I heard it, I felt it, I saw it, and I called it in as a mandated reporter. So when you actually flip fate to destiny and it's written, and then it's written wrong because you don't know your craft, because what you feel is when you're with something, and this is all about the collective, this is Othala, heritage and estate, to where your body is a temple and you can't even do it flows well like a lake. That was harsh, absolutely harsh. Let's take another look to animal spirit. Here we go. Hello to everyone who just logged on over the last 10-15 minutes. I could not stop that psychic run on. All right. Feel free to ask questions, please, but please be appropriate. All right, butterfly. This is a type of messenger, a winged messenger that you can't even do. And we just had that in the Akashic Tarot, but it was in reverse. The whale in reverse means a known. So when you see the spider in reverse, you can't catch a cat. To the camel, and you literally look at the Middle East and you're like, you can't even make this up. Sometimes oracle can be point blank with intuitive, but the dolphin, when we just had dolphins play come out, is like a container of dirt. And I am seeing Saving Private Ryan, and they have different types of dirt. To the fish, all going down all the way around to no fishing, because when I look at what just happened in New Orleans, and I look at the Caucasian gentleman who is now deceased, I say, why do I see fish and fishing, all forms of it? Vulture. It literally says it's a type of stalking to a watchful, like Ty, T-Y-E. Dragon goes, you can't even be it. You can't sting it. You can't be it. You can't even be yourself at times. You got to act like that person, because this is almost like unique, euphoric, a type of exotic that's odd that people have done to get it done. You can't even see it. You can't even see it. But the moth in reverse means no, go for it. No, go for it. Elk, stalking. You can't even do it hard enough at all. Turtle in reverse. No pond. There's no pond whatsoever. Snake, coil up. Be done. That is such a premonition when you see the snake to the bear. And I'm seeing Appalachian to North Carolina. To the deer, there's no doe, but there were 2 bucks, and at least in my area. All right, buffalo. It means roam. Eagle comes through on a swoop. Anytime you start seeing these pictures, or videos or words or people are saying it, it is a sign of something coming through. You can't make it up. It's happened before with this type of issue. Lion, no ill mastery strength. Now for Zane, here we go. General love leading. All right, let's take a quick break on this one because that was hard and heavy. All right, how do we do? All right, so I see that you do well, and you do well, and sometimes it really is, and you have a lot of empathy, and I do see the tarot cards, and I do see everything about you, and when you actually do your tarot cards, that's when love finds you on a sit down, on a talk through with somebody, and you can't even believe that it's true. I see a September of a 3 to a 2 to a November, but I can't even be a boo, and when I see it be a boo, it's not what you're thinking. It's a boo. You'll understand at the table. It's a hard feeling. You're so attuned and aligned and well balanced that day and calm when sitting and talking with that person. But you can't even do. You can't even do. Now, with that being said, the 3 of Cups, it is a type of celebration that comes through. The 7 of Wands comes in and says, high guarding, protect that celebration, Zane, protect whatever comes through when you do sit down. It's so calm that you just don't even realize that love offers in your face, and there's no skill. Like, it's so easy. You don't need high skill, and it will cause a pause in your life around you. Just pay attention. But it's a good partnership. It literally is a good partnership. There's no logic to it. And as far as you making the world better with your efforts, you can say a lot. You can say a lot. You'll understand what a lot means. Now, as far as you seashells, I would say if you still have concerns after what I have said, and I don't mean to be rude, I'm just running fast, is that you should call like a mental health line. You should call 211. You should call 911 and see if you can get an intervention at this point. It is true, Zane. It's that old song of this ain't no thinking a thing. It just happens. Sometimes it just happens, and it's okay. It's a form of communication that comes in so quick that you can't even understand whatsoever. But it's so well attuned that you can't even do. Now, as I see it come through, that you can't even be a boo, but it is a known, and it is known to be a bone, and it's spelled so well that you can't do it, that you can't boo it, that you can't sue it. You can't even write it at all. There was no securement in the areas. It caused bad judgment quick on. No study to lack of study to a block of study, and you couldn't hear it or see it. It hurt. Like all of a sudden it was done and closed and blocked off. The 7 of Swords is no thief in the night, because when I see the logic with a lot of these crimes, I was supposed to do it. The 10 of Swords goes, no, no finality of relief. But this justice comes in that you can't even understand. Sue to lawsuits. Bad justice to secure everything in life and in society. This is grossly grotesque. This is where you sit, and I actually see how it played out today in the media with individuals that came across the news. And you have to say you sat pretty well because it is known that you had to do it. Now, with this, the Queen of Wands in reverse is no mastery of skill. You don't need it whatsoever. But when I see the Three of Pentacles go, no, I can do of a boo of a loo of a sue, but a do of a do. It really is a lankaloo, a lankard, an Irishman too, a tool. Where's the missing tool? The missing tool came from an SHP to a rent ree to a be it be. I will be the one to destroy thee. If you literally did, because here they are, all of them, about 30 to 50,000 people can't even see it coming whatsoever. So when you see the Page of Pentacles, you go, when you boil it down on the middle, this offer is so young and it's so quick and so fast. I hear a knock on the door from many people and say, you're done, let's go. All done. Now, the death and the rebirth, it has to do with an ending. That is the cutaway that I'm seeing in a 1 to 2 weeks. It's happened before, and that's all you need to know. So let's look through the crystal quartz, and that's it. It's still going to be a struggle for another 1 to 2. But let's say goodnight. All goes a boo to the bayou, to the loo, all forms of the spelling to get a done, a D-U-N, a D-U-N-N to a D-U-N-E, to be the re of the D. The D-E-A comes to the B-E-A, to the L-E-A, to the N-E-A, to be a ba. Now, with that being said, all of a sudden, it just comes through to be a do. Now, with that being said, that's all I have to say. Any likes, comments, shares, go ahead, push it through. In the comment section, if you feel like I did a good job, go ahead and leave a donation, a tip, right to the Cashapp or to Venmo or to Zelle. Anything that you're comfortable with. With that, we'll see you next Saturday, and we will talk to you soon. Have a good night, everyone.